Episode 2 of Amateur Hour.
Well, the first one went by pretty quick.
Yeah, we wanted to go for 30 minutes. We ended up at 45. We'll see what it cuts down to.
We're going to edit it. We're going to have some fun with it because it's a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're about. So, a little slight twist to the format, just a little one. A brief, what happened? What's going on? What happened this week? Did anything besides the AB? What else happened?
Well, that was last week, so.
We're 2 weeks in advance now. Doesn't matter. We're still going to talk about it. Do we know where AB is? No one knows yet.
Yeah, we don't know where AB is yet.
You know who else we don't know? And I'm going to say this on purpose. I do know her new married name, but she will always be Bjerkes. I just love saying Bjerkes.
Paige Shue?
Bjerkes.
Paige Shue. R.I.P. Grady
She
Shue.
left.
I mean, Grady's alive, but.
She left
his
Trilogy.
career.
She's gone.
He did leave Trilogy, which
left
she
Trilogy.
falls in the Kona Panis category of I didn't think they'd ever leave.
Because of familial relations.
Yes.
But it's a business.
But it's a business, yeah. If you can make
we've
yourself
learned.
profitable, which Kona made herself profitable, so
Absolutely.
Paige will do the same.
That could be an episode in and of itself. Kona could be an episode in and of itself.
Oh yeah, that goes back to what we're talking about, sponsorships. Yeah.
Huge. People were upset. They gave her money. She brought people with her. She performed. People forget. Hello, she won an All-Star.
She did win All-Star.
She won an All-Star.
2021?
She's not a so-so player. Like, she has accomplished something.
Oh no, she's good.
She is good.
She just gets the yips sometimes.
It happens to the best of us, but
Oh,
she's
yeah.
working on it. So, we're going to talk about maybe what's happening local. Anything happened this week local? And
All right, cut
we're
back in now.
So, locally, not much else happening. Bunch of putting leagues are happening.
Bunch of
right?
putting leagues. Well, I think that's cool. I think that still goes back to rising tide floats all boats.
3 putting leagues.
Three
in the
putting
area
leagues,
right
Monday,
now.
Wednesday, and Friday, all different styles. We run a horseshoe.
In person. These are in person.
These are in person, not
Gotta
virtual.
mention
We
that,
have
not
3
virtual.
in-person putting leagues.
Yes. Which I'm cutting them off again because Tracy. We're going to put some dates and some information up here. Tracy, one of our sponsor team members, she runs a women's only virtual putting league.
Yeah.
International. She is Miss
International, yeah.
International, yes, because she does have international players, and it's awesome to. We'll bring her on the show, let her talk about it, but she is starting one up again soon. So we have 3 in person, and
Yeah, we run a horseshoe style putting league, a stations putting league, and an obstacle course putting league.
so you have options to keep the putting going while in cold, snowy Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think all of them have their merits for sure.
They absolutely do. You want to work on your putting because you want to get the muscle memory down, right?
Yeah, so that's
You
the
wanna keep doing
horseshoes,
the same
that's the
thing.
muscle memory.
And then you want to have the stations. You have elevated. You, have
you have
obstacle.
down,
down,
marksman,
yeah.
elevated, and obstacle.
And I'm one of those weird guys. I don't know if it's my height. Marcus is just about my height. But I'm one of those, I say weird guys. When I have a downhill putt below a certain degree of vision, I take a knee immediately. I just go to a knee. It's just, to me, I don't like putting that direction. So
Yeah.
it's nice to have that as an
That
option
practice,
while
yeah.
you're working on your putting in the off season.
I putt nose down, so I just throw a normal putt and it goes down eventually.
I'm a spin putter, and sometimes I'm decent. My rating doesn't say it, but I'm decent at putting.
You're a pretty good putter.
Pretty good putter. So
After I fixed
sometimes
your putt.
when I'm off target, it's because I'm getting that nose up just a little bit too much.
Yeah,
I'm
and
a
it floats
spin
up,
putter,
floats on you.
and it floats. So that's just a control thing that I'm working on, but I'm able to do that now with options. And the one that we have, that we work with, Western New York Gaming LLC, right here, the studio we're using. Jimmy was kind enough to work with us as a partnership to help disc golf and gamers. Board
Yeah,
games,
board game space.
card games.
Table.
Actually, this studio records, he said, an 8-person,
8-person.
Events?
Yeah, games.
games?
I don't know what game
Yeah.
they play. He didn't
a
tell
bunch
me.
of games. I don't think they stick to one.
No,
Two
they
game days.
play. They have 2 game days. Yeah.
So they do a lot here.
So maybe some birdie disc golf right here.
There will be birdie disc golf here because D2DG is having a team function here eventually when we get
Yeah, we'll
herding
record that.
cats, but we're going to get them here. And we're going to see how that works. And fun note, we are going to try to incorporate putting baskets with that board game birdie. We're going to have some fun with it.
Okay.
We're going to help change it up a little bit. And if it works, we might share it with you guys. If it doesn't work, we still might share it with you and see
Yeah.
how we can make it better. And by now, I'd say a high percentage of people have some sort of putting basket in their homes.
I think most amateurs, if
Most
they, if,
pack and play.
yeah, if
carry,
you have a
well,
rate, if you have a PDGA number, you care enough to spend the money on a practice basket. I think most people.
Self-promotion, I might be able to help you get a basket if you need it. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing it out there. But yeah, if you have that and you putt, I think we can come up with, between all the minds that we have on the team, we can come up with something fun, something that pushes, something that is very high, have you met me? Risk versus reward. Full send. Go for it.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to lay up and just take the easy way out, I mean, I guess that's okay if that's what you want to do. But so, yeah, that'll be happening here. And so we have putting, we have what happened, we have what's going to happen, and that's it. The holidays, right?
The holidays have happened since.
Yep, the holidays
Since
are
the last
here. I
time
hope
we played
everyone is safe, and New Year's coming up.
Yeah, it depends when we put this
Be
out.
safe for
I
that.
don't know when.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know when
not,
this is going to
if
come
it
out.
already
but It might
happened,
already happened.
Happy New Year. And next episode, we will have a guest. That's right.
We will have a guest next episode.
Not sure which one, but we will have one lined up. So stay tuned for that.
But what do we want to talk about today?
I think we're going to talk courses.
Courses.
We are going to talk courses. We're not just going to talk local courses because...
No, because our local courses stink. No.
It's the lefty thing.
Our local courses are righty favorite.
Lefties.
Our local courses are righty heavy, and I'll defend that opinion forever.
Okay,
Except for some of the new ones. The new ones are getting better. The ones that I designed.
we will spend a little bit more time on this another time when we're prepared because it just came to me. We're going to put up some maps of our local designs when we do the righty versus
That's
lefty.
a great idea.
Because I have seen lefties play a course that he has played, and they attack it different than him. Does it mean it's a righty course? No. It means he's not confident enough in his shot to attempt something. So I think we can look at the maps and decide, some of these holes can benefit. But, talking course, what we're going to talk about right now, course design, courses we played, lefty versus righty. I'm all in favor for a little bit of mix, a little mixed
I
woods,
love
a little mix open.
I think it's the best. I think it brings out the best in your game. You're required to do everything.
And as someone who has struggled at times with a forehand,
Yeah.
by struggled at times, I mean I don't have one past 200. It's important for the growth of your game, period. You should learn to be able to forehand, backhand, whatever you have to do. If it's pulling an Eagle McMahon and switching hands.
Switching hands. I think switching hands is better for your body than throwing a forehand.
When you're throwing forehands at his level, you've seen him bend like a pretzel.
Yes.
when
Oh,
he
he
lets
has.
fly.
Yes, he's an athlete. He's got
Okay.
long levers.
At our level, Marcus has a very serviceable forehand. I've seen it.
I've got
You've gotten out there
350
yeah.
on 350 if I really get on one, but like 300 serviceable.
And this thing travels only 4 feet off the ground the entire way. So it's a laser. So he has that down.
I had to as a lefty. You have to.
But again, if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to be better, as a righty, you should too.
You
we
absolutely
have a
should. I
world
agree.
champion
I agree.
who did not have one, right? Actually, I'm going to say it, and I'll admit it, but don't tell anyone that I said this. When James lined up for his shot, the holy shot,
Oh, anyone else will throw a
I
forehand.
said James is absolutely one of the best turnover throwers I have ever seen. And I felt bad because I said he doesn't have a forehand and he needs a forehand for this shot. I said that out loud watching that tournament. I did.
Yeah.
And then the man
it was a
stepped
forehand
up
shot, but
and he drained it.
well,
and-
it's a percentages thing. Like if it's a percentages thing because you can throw a spike hyzer forehand, and most people at their level, can throw that far on a spike hyzer forehand. That's more accurate than a turnover.
Most.
Right.
That world champion was not one of them.
No, but if that thing and if that thing misses the basket, it's still probably in bounds too.
Absolutely it was.
It's still
Yeah.
probably in bounds, and then that's still Paul has to make another good shot.
For what it's worth, we're amateurs. It's amateur hour. I bag an envy. He did.
I used to throw envies.
He's gateway. But I throw the envy, and I love the envy. And it wasn't going much further than where he was throwing it. It would have been in bounds. It was an
Yeah.
amazing throw.
I mean, he can throw
But-
envies 400 feet.
But we've also seen him struggle with forehands.
Yeah.
Right? As a pro.
Yeah.
And I think Paul Macbeth, it was a future tournament, and somebody asked him, how does this course shake out? Knowing that somebody can't. Do you need the forehand? And Paul himself said, I lost a world championship to somebody without a forehand.
Yeah.
So there it is. So it's the exception to the rule, I guess.
Absolutely,
saying.
yes. It's the exception
You
to the rule. I
should.
mean, it's like Chandler Kramer. He doesn't really have a backhand yet, but he's competing.
He absolutely is. I saw what he did. And
Yeah,
those rollers. the
oh my
forehand,
God, yeah.
insane. And that brings us back to LSD.
Long star disc.
Shout out to Chandler and what he's doing.
Chandler's doing great.
It's awesome. But you know what? Sarah, since we're talking about this,
yeah.
right? Sarah Holcomb, forehand only, she started grinding on the backhands, putting in that work, right? As any athlete should and could. You know, Brody made the comment. When athletes take this sport as serious as others, and they come in and they grind and they practice and they put in the work every day, that I think he said half of the touring pros don't put that kind of work in. He said they're in for a shock because these people are going to come in and make a change.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Like the Gannons and...
Yeah. I mean, God, that kid is...
He's really
17?
good.
Like, did he finish graduating?
I think he graduated high school this year, but I don't know if that's
My
a fact.
God. I mean, how old is AB? He's not much older.
I think he's a couple years younger than me. Like, he's like 20 now, maybe.
Yeah, he's not. So you got these kids that came in. They're athletes. They're sending it, right? And
and they've been playing for
full
their whole
send,
lives.
And they knew enough to learn that forehand and backhand and full send both of them.
Yeah.
Right? So our goal here isn't that we're going to make everybody pros and we're going to, talk to a bunch of amateurs and lift them all up. But if you're going to take something away from this, chat about courses and favorite courses and course designs, work on your game. Work on your forehand, work on your backhand. Whichever one you dominate with, work on the other one. And something I struggle with, and I have a field a block from my house.
Yeah.
I've gone with Marcus to play forehand only rounds to help get the form, help get into motion, that muscle memory. I have a field a block away. Life gets in the way, but you know what? There's no commitment to say, I'm going 1 hour a day and throwing 150 forehand shots until I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
It just isn't, right? It's amateur hour. I'm an amateur.
Yep. I'm the same way. And that's what separates Justin from us. Justin went to a field and threw the same shot 1,000 times.
And then did it with his left hand now
now
just to make everybody else upset. The forehand wasn't enough. He had to do it left-handed too. So Justin Gilbert, 1,000-rated player. He was local. Lives in Charlotte. You'll hear, way to chop that man down one more.
It's tough love around here. He's not 1,000-rated right now.
He's still the kid. He's 20. Almost legal.
He's almost 21.
Almost legal.
He's almost 21.
But you know what? It was for me, being new to the game, and having a kid show me the ropes was insane. And when I met the kid, he had been playing for probably 7 or 8 years, I think he said. And he was one of the top players in the area, period.
Yep.
He wasn't 1,000 rated yet, but I mean, he was taking out the MPO guys by the age of 15.
Yeah.
So this kid had talent.
I mean, he was sponsored. He was on a real sponsorship.
The best way to describe him throwing is violent. Yes. It is compact, and it is violent the way that disc rips out of his hands. You can hear it. You can hear the snap like I'm clapping my hand. It's violent, but it's effective.
It works.
He went ahead. He got a forehand. He went to the field. He did work. So again, what's your commitment to getting better? Wishing you had a forehand or a backhand?
Yeah, it's the time.
Watching, grabbing your friends, going to a course, throwing. Let's say an 18-hole course, and we're going to say Ironman rules, we'll say par threes, you throw in a couple par fours, you're still putting, minimum putting of 18 to 24 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
so you're only driving with as much as you can at max 18 you got some approach shots, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to get better with those if you're not
unless you're going out there with your whole bag for a dedicated purpose. Like, I want to get better at tunnel shots. I'm going to go to hole 5 at Como with a bag of mid-ranges only and hit that tunnel until I can hit it every time.
And I'm going to run with this one because that's one thing I can absolutely do better than Marcus is throw straight down the tunnel.
Tunnels?
He hates them.
I've gotten a lot better, though.
Yeah, he has.
Because I focused on it. Because now we'll get into courses. When I lived in Boston, in New England disc golf, you cannot get away with just throwing hyzers. You need all your angles.
There's so many trees. There's just so many trees.
Yeah.
There's we do. We're on the precipice of championship course. We're not a championship
so
course.
Close.
We're close, but Bond Lake,
Emory
is better now with the tee pads.
With tee pads,
but Bond Lake is that image. It is that course.
Bond Blues.
Yeah.
Bond from the Longs is a championship course.
Okay. Yeah.
Bond from the whites is not good.
It's painful.
It's a hyzer
is what
fest.
It is.
It's a righty hyzer fest.
It is. But you have to throw certain shots. You have to get better. So when you talk about Massachusetts and all the trees and everything you have to do, the only real thing we have to compare it to is Emory. Now that we have those two pads.
And only half that course is in the woods.
And right, but those woods are punishing.
If you get off the fairway, it's punishing. But you need to be able to throw uphill on a hyzer, downhill straight, downhill straight.
A couple of them I have to throw a turnover. I don't have that forehand yet as a righty. You got to get it up and over to the right.
But there's plenty. I mean, one of the best mid-range throwers in our area, Matt Hess.
Yeah.
That's his home course. He's
a lion.
Yeah, he rips a lion up and down this course.
Yeah.
Through the woods. He's the only person I know that throws a lion.
Shout out to Matt Hess. He's MPO player.
Sponsored by Squala.
Sponsored by Squala. Used to be
He's
part of
someone
our
that
team.
should absolutely be on a amateur or better sponsorship.
Absolutely.
But
I would say if we're going to talk about Matt, we have your permission, we'll roll with it. If we don't have your permission, we'll cut it out. But I would say he's still along the lines of the mental struggles of is he ready for that sponsorship and the weight of pushing that team.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's what he's working
I don't know
on.
what being sponsored by a disc company is going to do for me this year. I don't know if I'll put the pressure on myself more and play better or if it'll crack me. But I will practice more. I'll tell you that. It's
You're going to be forced to practice more because you're limited in your disc selection now.
Yeah, I got to learn new discs.
Yes, you have a number of them, but to me, it makes sense because you're sponsored by them now. We always said, why would an amateur play with one set of discs if you're not sponsored? Well, now you are, and now you have the option of playing with all of Gateway or incentive laden to play with all of Gateway, or maybe scale that back. Maybe season 1, you play 75% Gateway while you work your way. Okay?
We'll see.
Personal choice because you could absolutely go to that field, put in that work, and perform
and learn
with the Gateway.
all new discs. And I could absolutely learn my discs
And
in
if
a
you
month.
need to break them in, you call in Justin, you give him the disc one
throw
time.
them into a wall a few times, and we'll call it a day.
That's happened. But yeah, let's get back to the courses. He doesn't like the local. That's where we started. I think that we went off on a tangent because he doesn't like the local because he's.
I don't like my home course. Is a Righty Hyzer Fest.
Your home course is now Emory, right?
And now it's Emory. Como Park though. The course I learned to play on, Como Park.
We're gonna go through this right now. I'll put up screenshots if we have to. We're gonna go through this. This is why we argue.
Okay, to the short pins, to the original pins, the short pins.
You don't care about that. You're a sponsored player now. You're going deep.
But the course I learned to play on was the short pins.
Now let's go long. Hole 1.
Hole 1's it's just 2 straight shots.
So you can't say it's righty.
Right, I'm not saying it's righty.
Okay.
2 straight shots. Hole 2, righty hyzer. Righty hyzer and then a straight putter. If you can throw 400 feet, which I am counting.
I would say in the long position it's par 4.
It's a par 4.
So
it's a righty
as
hyzer.
a lefty, you can throw straight through the gap and then a lefty
and then
approach.
a lefty hyzer. But if you want to get the eagle, which I have before.
People have pushed for. I've got.
I have.
Because already, yeah.
You want to throw a 400-foot hyzer.
But not everyone.
And then a straight shot.
Come on, man. You're not going to call it a righty hole because you want the eagle. If you're
I'm
being
talking
fair, a left shot up and then or a straight shot up and then a lefty approach. It's possible, so we can't call it a righty. We're calling it neutral. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Agree to disagree, man. Anyone who plays can, if you're a lefty, get it through the gap of the trees, lefty approach.
Okay.
Okay? So
hole 3, off the tee, righty hyzer.
Yes. Can't argue that one at all. 4, lefty. Lefty.
Righty turnover.
Well, lefty? What do you mean righty turnover? It's a left shot. There's a manual that literally makes you throw a left hyzer.
Righty turnover.
Because you're not comfortable throwing a spike hyzer doesn't mean it's not a lefty shot.
If you want to ace it or get the closest to the basket, it's a righty turnover.
What do you mean? Hello, Matt Hess. I've seen him almost ace it. As a
I almost aced it.
Up and over, lefty.
Yeah, I've almost aced it. I still think it's easier.
Then it's a lefty.
Well, it's also because right there the wind's always in some crazy direction pushing back at you. So
which is going to affect any righty turnover shot. So it's a lefty. You're not going to win that one. We can't agree to disagree.
The parts at Como is not the beginning. 1 through 7 at Como Park are the best mix of holes at that course.
5
1 through
is
9.
a straight.
We'll call it 1 through 9. Great mix of holes.
6 is lefty.
Yeah, 6 is lefty.
7 is lefty.
7's a bad hole.
Lefty. Doesn't matter.
It's just a straight shot and another straight shot.
Lefty.
It's a bad hole.
Lefty. A lefty with power, like Matt, I've seen him get into the gap. Lefty. It's a lefty hole, man. It's literally up and to there. Lefty. 8, lefty.
8's a righty hole. It's a righty big flex turnover.
Or a lefty hyzer.
You need 550 feet to get a lefty hyzer there. You need 400 feet to get there as a righty.
That math ain't mathin', buddy. your lineup on 8 across the water with the pin being slightly
We're gonna
to the
cut
right.
all of this.
No, we're not. This is going on there. We're gonna show a picture. We gotta find the actual map.
I will find the
to
map
show
of this
it.
course.
That left, you're gonna literally. My aim for my turnover is going straight at the trees and then hoping it comes back across. That is a lefty hyzer shot. Even a flip up that doesn't come back is hard. Okay.
It's
so
a righty flex shot.
9
9 is a righty shot around the outside or
9
a tunnel shot.
the-
But the righty
wait,
shot's
which
way
pin?
easier.
Which pin?
Either the right pin, the original pin.
This one here.
We're talking originals.
Lefty,
Yeah.
right through the gap. That's not a neutral. Go neutral.
The
That's
righty
not a right.
hyzer's easier.
Neutral. It's just a standard shot straight through the trees.
Okay, like I said,
neutral.
the front 9 is
Okay. 10.
more diverse.
Lefty.
10, righty hyzer, righty hyzer.
Lefty. You go straight up and you're going over the water with your left.
Righty hyzer, but a hyzer's easier than a straight shot.
Okay. You can hyzer from the left. You can push the bushes and let it land in the opening and then throw.
And then you got to
another
throw
hyzer.
farther. No, you have to throw a straight shot. It's 2 straight shots as a lefty.
Then
if
it's
you're going off the
neutral.
gut.
We're not
No,
gonna give
it's
it
2 righty hyzers to get there.
It's not, because the first one, yes, to land in
And then
a
it's a-
wider opening.
Yes, the big
But
opening
the
is a righty
second one,
hyzer.
you still have the trees
It's a
there.
righty hyzer
It'd be
still.
nicer if you had left.
But it's a righty
Agree to
hyzer.
disagree. It's a neutral. 11.
11, righty hyzer.
Righty
the
hyzer.
only gap is there.
It is.
12 is neutral.
Left. Neutral. Okay. 13 neutral.
Neutral. 14.
14 hyzer.
Used to be a righty hyzer. Now it's
Now it's straight.
Trees fell and it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just but to the long pin, which is a good pin, is righty hyzer.
15 lefty. You're going straight and it's coming back hyzer. It's
Justin
just
would say
straight
it's a
and back.
righty hole, but
Any lefty that walks up and you've seen them throw, they literally.
okay. So here's
here-
my issue.
Call
with
it
the,
neutral because the right.
yes,
can
we'll
go
call it
over the
neutral. So
path.
you can hang out over the path.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's my issue with the course is where when I need to make up all my strokes on the front 9, and then hope to par the back 9, because of how easy it is
Do
for
we have a
righty.
ticker going on which one is which?
No, I'll put it on screen.
Okay, so 10 is, I call it neutral. 11
Sure.
is not.
11 is not. 12 is neutral. 13 is neutral.
So those 3 out of the first 4 are fair game to righty or lefty.
Yes. 14 to the new pin is righty. 15 we'll call neutral. 16, 17, and 18 are all righty hyzers.
That's where you got it. 16, 17, 18.
That my issue with the course comes down to
closing.
trying to make strokes up at the end of the course. The
Yeah.
righties can throw a 350-foot hyzer or flat to fade
Yeah.
very easily,
You got
where
it
I have to throw either a turnover, a 350-foot forehand,
Okay.
or like gut some tunnel.
Okay. All right. I would say unfair to lefties. I would not call it a righty course.
No, it's not
Because
bond white,
there's
but
a
it's
lot
unfair.
of there's a lot of neutral where you have a fair shot. The final 3, that's a killer to end if you don't have that forehand. So
Yeah.
I get that. So all right, but anyways, that's his local. That's Como. That's not even like the great one that we were talking about. The other 2. So let's talk about some courses that we've been to.
Yeah.
I've played the majority of them in the Mecca in Charlotte. You've been down there too, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't that good.
I mean, I wasn't either.
So I've been to IDGC in Augusta, and then what is it called, Langley Pond, I think, in South Carolina, and then I played Eager Beaver, not Angry Beaver, and I've been to Winthrop, but not when the course was set up.
The word Angry Beaver is a no for me. Haven't been there.
I would
I
love to
will
play
go.
Angry Beaver.
I have family down there. My daughter's there. Her boyfriend Justin. Eventually, I will go there. But to me, it's Hornet's Nest. I just love it. I like playing there.
You like Hornet's Nest?
I
I
do.
thought you didn't like Woods.
I don't, but I like it because there's a difference in the tightness of the woods at Hornet's Nest
Okay.
than some of the ones that were here. Like I think some of them are fair. I've been to don't say the B word because that's all you hear from them when you get down there. Bradford. Been there. Been to the majority. Rennie.
Yeah.
Renaissance.
I don't know if I played Rennie or not. I think I just hear so much about it.
We almost died that day. The
feel
first
like I
time we
played
played it, it was like August, and it was so intensely hot. It was insane. Like we literally, after our round, we just dropped in the shade, grabbed a cold beer. I think we were watching. There was virtual putting thing happening, and
it's
Ricky
during-
Steeler was a part of that one at the
Yeah.
time. So we just had to like get our breath. Like we were sweaty. It was so hot. We just had to just have a cold beer and sit under the shade just to be able to make it back. But to be fair, a lot of these courses I end up playing like upon arrival. Like I take
Yeah,
that
you
10 hour,
drive and then
10 and a
show
half
up and
hour
play.
ride. I show up. overnight, best time to drive for me. So I show up in the morning, I meet whoever's already there, well rested, and then we play. So
yeah, I usually take week-long vacations to these places to,
yeah,
and then
I'm
don't
in
play
and
the
out
same
for
day.
a couple of days, and then I'm gone. Scrapyard, I love Scrapyard down there.
good things.
Scrapyard has fairways that are 15 feet wide. A couple of them are tighter, but it's very fair. If you're gonna hit those shots, you're punished if you go outside of them. So yeah, I've been all over Charlotte, and for someone who doesn't really like throwing in the woods, it's just a mental thing for me, right? Like we spoke
Yeah,
about
you-
earlier, like
Feel
I'm
like you're in a
comfortable
straitjacket.
throwing. I'm comfortable throwing a straight shot. It's a preferred shot for me, for my mid or my putter to go straight. I can't throw my high speed driver straight. I just
Right.
can't. And to perform there, you have to have confidence that you can, right? Justin rips his force
Yeah.
through the trees, and I'm like, how? I
Because
don't
you need the
see
hyzer
it.
flip.
I-
You gotta have the real
gotta
real
have-
good
yeah.
hyzer flip.
You got to have that comfort level. But I enjoy the challenge of that. And for someone who goes full send all the time, I'm forced to make that choice to disc down to something, a river, to go
Right.
as far as I can, and hopefully not get that deflection where your disc magically picks up 30 miles an hour and goes
Yeah, it goes
faster into the woods
flying off.
through a wall of trees that when you get to your lie, you look back and you don't see any daylight. How did it get there?
Yeah.
Somebody
so,
picked up and put it there?
throwing a
That's why
river
I
down
like
the
it.
woods tunnels brings me back to Northwoods Gold. When we were there for Ledgestone. We won't tell all the stories, but
It's okay.
I think Ledgestone is an awesome amateur stop. If you want to play a big tournament as an amateur, go to Ledgestone, I think, in my opinion. The advanced, the MA1 field usually plays some form of Northwoods, whether it be gold, usually, maybe blue, not black, and Eureka Temp, the lake course.
How many discs did you lose on that one?
I lost 4 discs on hole 1 at Eureka Temp. 2 during my round. I started my round with an 8 and only finished 12 over.
That's rough. I just had to ask because I remember
Yeah, you weren't even there.
water. No, I was busy. You see, while he says it's a great place to be, the downside to the only one really that I can think of is your 45 minutes of just cornfields and whatever else is there apart from
Yeah, that's
all
Peoria.
the courses. So, like we had people, we had 4 divisions. Yeah, we had 4 divisions
of us there, yep.
and 2 vehicles. Mistake, but we made it work. But you're
Well, it wasn't, we had no choice. Everyone was 18.
everywhere. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, no, because you were underage, you still got one.
Yeah, I
so
still
they
got a
could've-
car.
Yeah, so doesn't matter.
was under
What matters
25
is
and rented
the
a
only
car.
downside that I saw to them was how
Yes.
spread out it was. Okay, but the courses, I had fun at the courses.
Courses were awesome.
Met some guys from Wisconsin at the time. The first time I played when we were there, I had just won AM championships here.
Yes.
So Marcus, being the great friend that he is, puts the pressure on me and asks the guy, "What division are you playing in?" Because this is our local MA3 winner.
Did I do this?
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that.
You literally said, "This is our local MA3 West the champion." So we want to kind of see, you know,
Oh, how we stack
how
up.
we stack up against you guys. Like no pressure.
I don't remember this at all.
This is and I'm walking up against an MA3 player. You don't remember this?
No.
This guy launched at 450 feet.
Yeah, probably like the wrong direction.
No, he absolutely killed it with like a Corvette. It was an insane, like a 13 or 14 speed
Yeah,
driver. He's an
14
MA3 player from Wisconsin who just murdered that disc 100 yards or 100 feet farther than I could. And it was downhill from there, but he was a good player. I met him. We talked. We practiced another
Yeah.
course together before we
that
did the
course was
players
sick.
pack. Which one?
The woods course that you played?
Yes.
I love
Kirk,
I can't remember
I
any
can't
of
remember.
them.
We can find it.
We can figure it out, but
I'm a fan of open courses. Obviously, I don't like trees that much, but I played that golf course, the one that the women play,
oh, Sunset?
Sunset. I had fun with that one.
That's a sweet course.
Really good course, and I did fairly well there. I was running stuff there to try to make up for what happened to me in the woods.
McNaughton was the other course you played. You played the
McNaughton?
shorts. I played the longs that tournament.
Okay.
The locals called it McNasty.
Yeah.
Because there was that one stretch of like 11 and 12 that was like a 400-foot tunnel. I don't know if
Yes.
you remember that. You made
Yeah,
the turn,
yeah.
and there was like a 400-foot tunnel
Yes.
of like the thickest woods ever on either side. And I
And
watched some kid on my card just pipe it,
Yeah,
like
I
all the way
remember.
down. It was
I
sick.
remember it now. I had a lot of practice, and I was trying to flip up my Hades to get through the woods, and you took my Hades away, and you said you're just going to need your fairways and
Yeah,
your mids.
just throw a fairway,
Don't
hit the
do
gap,
anything
hit the
else,
gap, make your putt.
except for a couple of Firebird shots. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Being in the woods, I mean, you want to perform, you want to do well, right? But the competitive nature comes out when you're playing against these guys who are piping those lines with drivers,
Yeah.
with distance drivers, and you're just like, all right, I'll get my fairway and sacrifice, just trying to stay in the lane. But
Yeah, that's how you.
it was still a good course,
It was a great course.
really good course. I competed for the first, I'd say 8 to 10 holes,
Yeah.
where I was at the top of my card, and then it fell apart after that, and then it became that mental game of, I just gave up 2 strokes on a hole. I just gave up another stroke so I lost like 4 strokes in 5 holes, and it was just a free fall. So it's like, okay, catch up mode, break out the driver, knowing I shouldn't have. I did.
Right. Which you were still new to the game, so that's
Yeah.
you learn things as you go. You have to be in those situations
Right.
to learn from them.
You don't know what you don't know.
You
right?
don't know what you don't know.
You don't know how to put yourself in a winning position. You don't know how to maintain a lead until you've been there. You don't know how to come back until you've been there. So, part of what's great about our team, our sponsorship, is our chats. We share that information and we
Yeah.
share tips and trades, what we can do to make each other better, and then we actually perform it with each other. We actually go out for a casual round. We actually
Yeah.
challenge each other, to push each other and try to put us in that position of handling that pressure, handling that mental, and then take it from there. So that's why we do a lot of the travel, right? We push
Yeah.
for each other to travel. We push to go to these courses, see these courses. So after
Only downside to Ledgestone, in my opinion, is if you're playing well and you're at the top of your field, you play later in the day, you might miss the open cards action, the MPO, FPO.
yeah,
Because we got stuck at Northwoods Gold for 4.5 hours and missed, was it 5 hours?
yes,
We got stuck
Yes.
at Northwoods Gold with the MA1 field for 5 hours
yes,
because I was playing well that week. And
until we got there.
until we got there.
Until we got there.
That's,
We're not going to drop his name, but we're going to talk about him.
we
on
can
this.
no, we can save that
Oh,
for
no.
story time. We can
We're
have a
gonna talk
separate
about
episode
it.
of just story
Okay,
time.
we're not going to run through the whole thing, but we're not going to talk about this tournament without saying. Okay, we'll give it to you in a nutshell. It's going to hurt his feelings.
Doesn't hurt anymore. It's a great learning
it-
experience.
We can't talk about it without saying the story, okay? But we got to try to condense it. I'll try to give you the fast version. When it's story time later, we'll discuss it in great detail with visuals because I have them. Bottom line is, Marcus, who came in hot, right? Like we said,
I was in like 30th place out of like 150.
he came in
I was
hot,
feeling pretty good.
feeling good, playing good, throwing good. He runs into a buzzsaw of a guy that was playing blind.
Playing Northwoods Gold blind,
Northwoods
the hardest course
Golds.
on the Pro Tour at the time, blind.
Blind. Okay, he may have been acting. I don't think he was because he had his son with him, right?
Yep.
And he was playing blind. He was literally asking, "Where's the basket? Where am I throwing it?" And in the true disc golf, competitive nature, the card was helping him.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's still a friendly
this
game.
is what you want to do.
Yeah, you want
They
to lay
didn't
up to
say
here, throw to
figure it
here.
out. This is your goal. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. But regardless of what they told this man, he reached into his bag every time and he grabbed a destroyer. He grabbed a destroyer for every single drive at Northwood. Okay? Every single one. Didn't matter where it was going, he had a destroyer in his hand. Add to that he took a Luna from anywhere inside of 250.
250? Sure.
Anywhere inside of 250, he was throwing a Luna, okay? Anywhere inside of the 150, he was hitting metal.
He had like 3 metal hits inside of 150 with like throws, not even just jump putts, with throws.
After 5 or 6, no, we'll say the 7th hole, Marcus gave up and forgot everything he knew about disc golf. Marcus' mental game was so far gone after looking at this man, shaking his head and saying, "This should not work. You should not get away with a destroyer on every single shot." And this man was playing MA1, and he asked if he could get relief from a tree because it was in his way.
Yeah, he was there. He knows. We all
I
heard
was
it.
caddying. Like, we all looked at him like, "What do you mean?" And it was a legitimate question. He wasn't laughing. He said, "Can I get relief? Because this tree's in my way. I might hit my hand. Can I take relief to the side?"
Like, I don't know if he was trying to game us or what, but
So this man completed his round, actually took top of the card
He was like 4 down
With
at
a
Northwoods Gold.
with a destroyer. And at one point, I had to take a disc away from Marcus because he had a sword.
No, it was a river.
No, he had a sword that he didn't know how to throw because he forgot how to throw first. That's what happened first. And then on the next hole, he threw a river that went OB, and you had to, what are those, stinging
The
nettles?
stinging nettles, yeah.
So he just said, I don't even know what that
Forget
disc
it.
does anymore.
I'll go get a new one.
Me being a 900 rated caddy, not a 1,000 rated, but 900 rated caddy, I sacrificed, went through the nettles, grabbed the disc, and then I held it in my hand the rest of the time and would not let him throw when he wanted it because his confidence was
It was like
so far
hole
gone.
15 or 14 or 15.
When your caddy pulls a disc from you, you have a problem. When a caddy lower rated and less experienced than you pulls it, you really, really have a problem.
But
And this guy really did you dirty by just throwing a destroyer through the toughest course.
Go watch 2020 Ledgestone.
God.
Go watch the rounds from Northwoods from the pros. See how many destroyers get thrown. It's not a lot.
It shouldn't have worked, but it did. So
But
we'll
it
go into
did.
greater detail on the holes and what happened.
We'll have a story
we can't
time.
talk about that without mentioning what happened to Marcus on that because it was just so mind-bending that this
Yeah.
is actually happening in real life. So
So the next stop we usually hit is Vegas.
Oh man, my first ever sanctioned event. I signed up for Open just to get in because Bob was going, Justin was going,
Yeah.
Ricky Steeler, he was going.
Yeah.
A bunch of locals were going, and they just came up to me one day at putting league and they said, "Hey, LVC," and I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, "Is Vegas is a great time," and so they said, "Sign up." There was no room in the amateurs. They said, "Sign up for Open." I did because I'm a full send kind of guy. I don't care, but I felt bad if I actually made it in, and I would have had to play with Open players who are watching me struggle. I would have actually felt bad. I would have apologized. I would have.
Yeah.
But I still would have gone because I was still within the
still an
rules for me to
experience.
go.
Right, you
And
still
it was an
would have signed up.
experience, right? And disc golf being what it is, I'm sure I would have learned a few things.
Oh, yeah.
These guys would have coached me through just for the sake of their round being over quick.
Yep.
They might have just said, "Hey, man, try throwing this or don't throw this," and just lay it out like this. A couple, maybe a month or so before, I got in as an amateur, and then from there, I'm up until this year. We've gone every year, and the best thing about LVC is 3 different courses on the same property where you see the FPO, you see the MPO, everyone's walking, right? And it's just a matter of your comfort level of approaching them and what you want to see.
Yeah, they have reserved courses for different days for what division you're playing. So the first day you get to practice course A, the second day you get to practice course B while the pros practice course A.
That was new this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that-
thought
that
that,
was
I
new.
assumed they always did that just
That
because
was
it makes
new
so
this
much
year
sense.
because I remember a couple years ago, Sarah Holcomb, she was right behind us practicing. I honestly forgot. She was with 2 other guys. We went off to hole 3 on the short course, and they aced hole 2, but they didn't have a marker. So they came up to us asking who had a marker so they could do
They could sign it.
the
Yeah,
signing
yeah.
and stuff. And I said, "Hey, I don't mind you doing this." I said, "But I'd like an autograph if I let you hold on to that marker." And she was like, "Absolutely." So they all signed my disc.
Yeah.
And so I get why they did it, right?
Yeah.
You got pros behind amateurs
Yeah,
like struggling.
it slows down your practice
As a
rounds.
matter of courtesy, we always let the pros go. If you see a pro pulling up behind you, let them go.
Yeah,
But
they'll get through faster anyway.
what they did, what was new this year was Saturday, Sunday, it was open, free to whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then starting Monday, you had assigned courses on who could be where.
Yes.
So, but again, you're still on the same property. So you're still going to see these guys coming and going. You're still going to see them in the lot. You're going to see their campers. You're
Yep.
going to see them. James Conrad, awesome dude. He really is happy. I saw him bopping by like he does.
Yep.
And I just happened to have my cart, which I didn't try to travel with very much. I was just going to the car, I think to put it away. And I saw him. I pulled out one of my guys. He immediately signed it. He was happy to do it, right? I'm just going to name some people here just because it is. Katrina Allen, not so friendly, right? I saw her. I saw people saying hi. I get she wanted to be focused, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to not be so friendly, right? She was focused. She wanted to get to where she was going, had her head down. I'm not here or there, making it known she didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, they need to do. I think Brody has talked about this of separating the spectators from the players more. Like give signing
Meaning just
times.
keeping the amateurs period away from them, or because there's a different level of
I know.
access that we have at LVC.
You
That's
do get-
a player
yeah.
and a spectator, right?
I think It's hard there because the courses overlap almost.
Yes.
They're very tight.
Yeah, they start pretty much in the same area
Yeah.
there.
So
And the
you're
driving
bound
range
for
is there.
overlap, but I mean, I would be okay with the tournament staff when you check in saying, hey, if you see the pros, don't go up to them during the practice rounds. We'll have signing times.
I'm okay with that out on the course. At
That's
the
what I'm saying, out on the
clubhouse-
course.
Out the clubhouse walking is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I saw James in front of the clubhouse. I saw
Right.
Karina.
In the parking lot.
I saw Owen.
I don't know. I don't like to bother people.
The happiest person I've ever seen was Owen.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. That's all I've ever heard.
Stopped in the clubhouse. She was amazing. Somebody was like profusely apologizing for interrupting her, and she absolutely made them feel comfortable. Her exact words were, "You guys make this possible. It's never a bother. I love you guys. I'll take as many pictures." These are the words that Owen is saying. She was amazing. Super short in person, like super short. You know she's got a, But when I walked up to her, I was like, wow. I didn't want to bother her. She was really nice with them. I didn't ask her for one. I figured I'd catch her at the tent or something afterwards. Jen Allen, super
Yeah,
cool.
you always have great interactions
Always
with Jen.
have. Yeah, I've had every year I've been there. I had interactions with her. My daughter, she's our first year. She had a quick conversation with her. We took some pictures with her. She gave her information, her contact information. She chatted with her. Super open. It was in the clubhouse / driving area range, so it was the public area. But I want to talk about Nate real quick. So Nate Sexton, 2 experiences with him. 2 sides of the same coin, right? My very first interaction with him was when I got Sexton Firebirds. He was doing some signings.
Yeah.
And I was like,
With the LVC Firebirds?
I was like, Nate, I would love for you to sign mine. I was about to miss the cutoff. Like, they had a little time for that to be there, and I just finished. I didn't have the keys to the rental. Somebody else had them. So I said, Nate, if you wait a couple minutes, I'll go get it. And he said, he's like, I got 10 minutes here, and then I'm leaving. 25 minutes later, I come back, like sweating because I ran around the entire place. He was still there. And he said, I almost left, but I waited for you.
Yeah.
Super cool guy, right? Really awesome. Very personable on the driving range. He was right there talking. Second interaction, he was giving a clinic with Gigi, Jen, I forgot who else. And their clinic was just a Q&A. This is what we do. This is what you should do. And these are, ask a little give and take. And they answered everything. And then they were going to do, they were going to show off Gigi and Jen Allen, right?
Right.
At the driving range.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Two
want
of the
to see
farthest
those?
throwers in the world.
So that was part of their little agenda. But then when it came time, they looked to Nate, the captain, and they're like, okay, we're almost done. We're winding down. Like, are we going to do the throw thing? And he looks around at the group, and he's like, nah, I think we got it covered. And as soon as he said that, head down, he was gone. Gone. Jen stuck around. Gigi stuck around. A couple, I want to say Callie McMurray, like a couple more Innova pros stuck around, pictures, autographs, did everything. Nate had somewhere to be.
Right, which maybe he had somewhere to be.
He might have. But if you're giving a clinic, take a photo.
Yeah,
autograph,
you usually you expect them to stick around after the clinic,
and it was within the window of we're gonna have a clinic from 5 to 6.
Yeah.
They were within that window.
I would say he's one of the most booked pros of
So
between.
personable.
Yeah,
Just
well, I'm saying
know
he's
that.
one of the most his tightest schedule. I would bet.
Yeah. So because
Between
he's so personal, he's doing the media, doing everything.
Pro Tour,
Captain.
he's the captain of Innova, Team Innova, doing the Pro Tour, the DGPT stuff, Disc Golf Network stuff, doing Jomez. I would say he's probably the most tightly scheduled person.
So that's our experience with the people on the course at the event. You're able to see everything. Now let's talk the actual courses.
As an amateur at Vegas, I did not have a good time. I didn't play. I practiced the courses. I thought they were very boring if you couldn't throw 450. You're looking to get a par a lot of the time. I don't think par is fun to get. I think getting birdies is fun. If you can't hit 450, you're just not going to get a lot of birdies.
Maybe this is something we can put in the chat, or somebody can make comments to tell us how they feel about course design and when you're doing this, right? So from what I know, from what we've heard from Bobcat, it's extra work for the TD to change pars for amateur versus pro.
We've done it.
make
I've
it.
done it.
But I'm just saying,
It is
an
more
event
work.
of this size, right? Is it MA3 guys are not throwing the 450 they had a 525 foot par 3.
Yeah.
Who's I don't care who's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, now the pros didn't like that hole from what I heard
I'm
either.
just a few.
So.
That's just my example.
But yes, no, I agree.
I love the course. I love the competition. I love the openness, and the strategy that really. Okay, you don't realize until you're there in person, right? The putting and the rollaways that can happen.
Yeah, they like baskets on hills.
Those baskets on hills and the short grass on the greens or anything that's near them are going. I've had bergs that usually stop on a dime, kick up and roll OB.
Yeah.
It happens, right? K2 berg, the best plastic for it, on approach, skipping, hitting the box, making a sound everybody wants to hear, right? You're going to get a tap in if you hit that box. Hit the ground, hit the box, got on edge, and just rolled 30-something feet OB. It was painful.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's part of the experience, and
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I know you like those courses, but
I don't know about the long course, though. That's the one where you pay for it the most, the lack of distance. Factory
Yeah.
one. That one's a workout. That's some exercise right there.
it's a hard course.
Your arm.
I don't know. A lot of full power flex shots, hyzer flips. It's just, and then still being 120 feet short of the basket on a par 3 is just not fun. And you know, I'm not the farthest throwing amateur. There are AM1 guys that throw 400 or plus and don't have the putting or don't have the upshots. But
I gotta say, I guess it's for me just the experience. Like, I'm not really.
the experience is great because
right?
the amateurs play in the morning typically.
Yeah.
The pros play in the afternoon.
Oh my God, you're playing at sunrise.
You're bad.
No, that's just what they do. They put the earlier divisions.
The lower divisions play earlier, but then you're done. You eat your breakfast, you eat your lunch. You go out and watch the pros then. That's fun. You don't need to leave the property. You don't need to go anywhere. Like Ledgestone, I would play my round, and then have to go pick up our MPO player or go watch the second half of his round. I would have to drive 30 minutes to go find his round.
And then sit there and watch them.
Watch them come through.
Catch a little bit of it. Yeah. But
I think Ledgestone's a great spectator course. Ledgestone, Eureka Temp.
Eureka, I was going to say.
Eureka's a super fun course.
Just not.
Eureka's awesome. You can post up at the hole after the water tower. I don't know what hole that is.
You're right. You're at 18 feet.
You sit at, I think it's 11 or 12's tee pad over the water, the par 5. You can watch that tee shot.
You're in that corner.
17,
that's 18 back.
17, the little island hole over the water that Reed Friskura skips on, and then you can see 18's tee shot.
Yeah.
It's an awesome spot to sit.
It is.
It's a great spectator area.
Yeah. If you don't want to follow, right? Because you can follow on some of it, but if you just want to see all the pros and take it all in, a good spot to be. So yeah, that's good. But it doesn't make it. Again, if you're trying to grow, maybe it's another bad opinion, but if you're trying to grow the sport, if you're trying to gain interest, you're trying to gain sponsors, you want the high end, you want the Adidas, you want everybody to throw cash at you, you have to, unfortunately, make it a sport that people can watch.
Yeah.
They can get involved in, right? If they're in the woods and you hear someone say, I lost it, they hit a tree, we didn't see where it went, and they're not able to follow that action, it does hurt. Like, yes, okay, disc golf is about woods. It's about the park, right? Trees are involved. I'm not saying get rid of the trees. I'm saying mix it up a little. If you want it to grow, you can't be entirely in trees. You can't fit that many spectators in. You know what I mean? Just from a growth level. Like, if you want to mix it and have your LVCs where it's wide open and have massive people, then, like, actually it's in Ledgestone where they don't even have a signal for half the course.
You can't get the signal for the Disc Golf Network down in Northwoods Black, the front nine.
We need a signal.
That part sucks.
Yeah.
That's why as a spectator, Maple Hill's great. MVP Open. Great spectator course.
Okay.
Great. They have grandstands. They've got
awesome
fairways. The 8 holes.
The 8 holes now have pizza delivered.
Yeah. There's a
flags,
grandstand on 1. There's a grandstand on 18. There's the clubhouse on 18. There's plenty of spots you can watch. The holes overlap kind of. You don't need to move too far to see a lot of them. The downside, MVP amateurs, is not the same weekend.
So you're making a trip just to go watch the pros.
So you would need to make a trip to go just watch the pros, or make your trip to play to play Maple Hill.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, is not a fun amateur course.
And I don't understand that because
Golds sucks. If you can't throw 500, Golds is not fun.
We here in Western New York, right? You make it to Maple Hill in 6 hours. Like, I make that trip.
It's like 6
quite
hours.
Regularly.
Yeah.
Once I first played it, I kept going back. I've never played. Wait, no, I take that back. I did play full golds once with some MPO players, just to get the experience and watch them play local MPO, but still guys.
Still
who can
MPO.
throw,
They can throw
guys who
4
can
plus.
I'm talking, Rick Steeler,
Justin.
Even Bob was launching something.
Bob can
I was
throw.
playing with them. And then on some of the water holes where I don't want to donate a disc, I would just go to the white or the blue or whatever to make it easier. But
They have the ratings set up so like the golds are like 10 rated.
Yeah.
Like if to shoot par, you need to be 10 rated.
that's one of the things I love
They
about
do
them,
it
though.
perfect.
Yeah, I've done the
Blues
red-
is 970.
What's it called? Americana?
The American layout, the red, white, and blue layout.
Red, white, and blue. I've
You
done
play
that.
red, you
We
play
did
white,
Canary.
you play blue. Canary's my favorite.
Canary's fun, but
Canary, you play white, then blue, then gold in a loop.
But you got to change it up a little bit because the castle hole.
Yeah, that one you play
They
blue,
have you
which
playing
is a
somewhere
different
else.
fairway.
We don't like it, so we just stick to the castle.
And 4, the downhill short one.
So a slight change, but the thing about Maple Hill, for me, you can say for amateurs it's not, but for me, the thing about the options, you can spend the day there playing all these different holes. A lot of them are fair, but as an amateur, you're not going to play gold. You're not there to play.
But
gold. You
people
do
make
that
the
as an
trip.
experience.
People make the trip to play golds.
Yeah, to see what the pros
See what the pros play,
Yeah.
and it's not fun.
But you're not a pro. Like, if you're an amateur,
Right.
Like I've done this. I've gone to Charlotte. I went to
Hornets
Hornets
Nest.
Nest. Went to Hornets Nest. They didn't have the layout,
Right.
right? Because
Right,
it wasn't
and
on that.
the Maple Hill Golds
but-
is always in.
But we saw where they were, and I was there with some locals who live there now. And I said, I want to make this throw across the water. I want to see what they do. I want to throw it here.
Yeah.
But I don't expect that I'm going to go play a gold. As an amateur, I don't expect I'm going to go to Maple Hill, go to a gold layout, and perform like these guys. I just want to see the shots that I see on TV. I want to see,
Right.
hey, they did this. Obviously, I can't duplicate that. I'm an amateur. Even if I'm an MA1, you're not duplicating those shots. It's the experience of this is where they play. This is what they do. But Maple Hill, I can play the condensed version of it. I can play the.
Yeah.
I don't say I've done the red, white, and blue, but I won't play reds because to me that's
I played Reds in a snowstorm
okay.
once. That was a great time.
Yeah.
You only lost a few
I
discs.
think Simon did a couple of things. In reds.
Simon's
We
done
just
plenty in the
slick
reds.
them off the ice and
Yeah.
having fun.
The
Trick
Reds
shots.
are a super fun course
Yeah.
by themselves.
I haven't done that, but I did
Which
the red, white, and blue, which
We
was
can
fun.
save that discussion. My opinion on designing short courses, Reds. I think there's an art to designing a Reds course. The red tee
I
beds
mean,
course. I think there's
If you're going to put it that way, there's just an art to designing.
an art to
courses
designing. I think
that
I'm a
make
good
it
course
fair.
designer.
I forget his name. Who loves designing the cat eye? That gives you options on. We'll look it up and we'll have a name here because I'll remember it. I just can't think of his name right now. He's famous for just having a lot of cat's eye
Yeah.
on his courses to give you options. So, but we're just discussing an amateur approach to these courses,
these big courses,
And
yeah.
I like Maple Hill. It is my favorite with all those choices. I haven't been across the street yet though. That might change my mind.
No, but
'cause
you
keep saying it.
played Clement with me. You played Clement Farms
Yes, I
in
did.
Haverhill, Mass.
I did.
It's
remember
the
that.
second best course. It's UDisc rated, the second
Okay.
best course in Massachusetts.
I don't like the UDisc ratings. That's just a participation.
No, it is. But it was my home course when I lived in Massachusetts. It was technically the closest. It was like a
liked it.
35-minute drive.
That was fair. That was actually I like that one a lot.
I think it's the best course in most other states. If you don't have the literal best course in the world
Yeah.
in your state, Clement Farms is the best course in most other states.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I'd put it up against. I guess I'm going back to what we have here at Emory because we have the wide openness on the back nine
Yeah.
that makes it
Yeah.
coachable for me. But if it was all woods like that, I don't know. It's a personal, I guess I would just have to push to get better in the woods.
I think the woods make you get better.
All right. So have you ever been to Emporia?
Nope, never been to Emporia.
This is why we have to go
But
to
it doesn't
Emporia.
it doesn't seem like it appeals to, it's another Vegas to me. It's just wide open hyzers in the wind. That doesn't sound fun to me.
It's the experience.
I believe it's the experience.
So the first time I made a push to go, literally, I'd say 90% of the people that I asked all said wind, rain, flat, blah, don't go. So I took their word for it because I was new.
Right.
But the more I've watched it and the more I hear about the experience, that's what I'm about, right? The experience. I can go play these courses. There's a lot of OB, there's a lot of high, whatever it is. The experience of the entire town turning into a disc golf fest.
Yeah. If we went to Vend, if you went and got a vendor booth, I would go. I loved
okay.
that.
I wouldn't. Vending. You make a million contacts. You talk to
It was
people.
great.
The Vegas. That was an experience. Really, really awesome. Yeah, I don't know that I would have to vend
To make those
enjoy
contacts.
it.
Oh, see,
Like, I'm just saying personally, I could go.
Yeah, no,
and,
I get
and
that.
take this all in because to me it was at Vegas we were weighted down by having to maintain under the tent to be there for the sales. Where there's some things we missed. It's a trade, right? We took turns.
We did
Are you
take turns.
good? I'm gonna go. I'm
Yeah.
good. You're gonna go.
I mean,
So,
I only followed one MPO round
yeah
the
right.
whole time,
So
and I didn't mind that. I followed a good. I had a good MPO round. I followed.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
it was our third trip. The reason I
It was
got
your
to
third trip.
vending,
It was
yeah.
my first trip.
The reason I got to vending is because I had experienced it already.
Yes.
So my first trip down for DDO, I would want to experience it.
Okay,
See
I
where I
understand
fit
that.
in, see where we fit in, see if vending is a thing, and then make it happen. But experience it first. And to experience it, in my opinion, I would have to play a couple of little holes, rain, wind, whatever it was.
Right.
Think back to when you first started playing. To me, it was only a few years ago. I can remember. It didn't matter the level of rain. It didn't matter the level of snow. I was out throwing, man. I had the bug.
I was just
I was
out
doing
Saturday in
Yeah.
a foot of snow
That's
for
a
team
different
challenge.
story. Team challenge. You had to be there.
You had to
gotta
be there.
come
We
through.
scheduled it. You got to be there.
But if it was casual,
I would
you have
never.
gone?
I
See,
will
You wouldn't.
ask Reed.
There was a time that I would have, not that long ago, and I think it was ruined by one event where
Western
it
New
was
York
icy
Team
rain.
Championships. That ruined it for me.
Really?
Yeah, that year that it poured.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's bad. Yeah, so stuff like that ruined it. But there's a time where it wouldn't have mattered. So I would think, from my experience, to get to DDO, play those courses, win, bring, whatever it is, just so I can see what it's like, and take it all in. I think it's a destination to play, and say I've done it, and then make a decision from there. Because I want to hit these other places and be able to compare them and just enjoy disc golf wherever I can.
Yeah, I agree. Let us know in the comments if you've been to DDO, GBO in the past, what you thought as a spectator. I don't know when the amateurs play, if there's an amateur side of that. Let us
There
know.
is an amateur side of it because Danny, Bob. Wait,
No, Bob played MPO that
Bob
year.
played up. Yeah, I was gonna say he was with Jeremy.
Because he played that. Yeah, there's a
But
picture of him
Danny
with Jeremy.
wasn't, and Danny told me about the experience,
Okay.
and the music, and having your song ready and stuff like that. So
Right, the amateurs do
Yeah.
play. That's right. So
so
yeah, let us know
there's
in the
something there.
comments.
So let us know if you've done it, but also if you can compare it to the other ones that we've spoken about.
Yeah, if you've been to more than one, let us know.
Please, if you've been to it, not if you heard from your friends, cousins, roommate, and no personal experiences. Tell us if you can compare them, because that's what we try to deal with. We really want to know, because we're going to try to make these places, and like we said last week, we're going to try to bring it to you if we can while we're there.
Yeah.
We're going to try to make the podcast there.
Maybe we'll bring one of you on.
And yeah, if we could bring
local?
somebody on that's been there, that
Or
would be
while
great.
we're there, bring on a local. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the best experience is from the locals, right?
Yes.
You can be someone who's traveled to DDO 15 times for the last
Right.
15 years, but if you're a local that's been there for the last 10 or 15 years, you're the person we
Yeah,
want to
you
talk to.
get the experience.
You have the experience, so let us know about that, and we will push to get somebody from the West Coast. So we're gonna have Nate, one of our teammates. He's traveled all across the country, driving, playing courses, but we're gonna try to get a couple of one or two people from the West Coast who live there, who grew up there, who learned there, to get their experience on the West Coast, because we can't compare.
It's a different game.
It is.
They learned a different game than we did.
Well, from what I've seen on TV, their game that they're doing for a lot of those is rollers. Let's keep it real. Like, you
Well-
got the short trees, you got rollers, you got the
Depends. You're
roll-
not throwing rollers at De La.
no.
When I think West Coast, I think De La.
Okay, that's fair. I think of what was it, the Oregon one that they had
Yes,
all the
that's.
rollers.
But that's not. I don't. That's not
there's
your
another
local.
One, there's another one in California.
You can't play that course as a local.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm thinking like your local course. De La's in the ground.
It is.
Memorial's in the ground. I can't think of Fountain Hills.
So one of our trips to LVC, we shacked up Clint Calvin. He stayed with us, and really super chill guy. I mean, he's awesome. Again, he's out there performing, 10, 15, 10, 20 rated. He's on tour. He's living his life, but he stayed with us. He knew who I was, brand new, gave some pointers, talks, chill, laugh. We'll see if we can get him to get his perspective. He's actually a pro at one of the courses there in California.
Oh.
I forgot which one right now. But we see if we can get him and get his opinions on it too, because he's traveled I don't think he's come that far east. He's traveled
don't
West
know.
Coast and somewhere towards the middle, but I think he was making a push east. So maybe we can get him on here and talk about some of those courses. But we are going to have our Florida guy who has played New World, who has played some of these other
Played
ones.
New World, Throwdown.
He loves Throwdown. He has literally tried to
yeah,
get
the
us
boys-
to skip
the
LVC
boys do love
for
Throwdown.
And to me, it wasn't that interesting, especially because of the make of it. I guess it's a farm or something to do with cows.
It smells like cows.
75% of the time, right? And then they
Yeah.
have this open for a short window.
Yeah.
And it's just cow
I
pies
think-
that you're,
yeah,
you know,
I think they did mention that to us.
navigating. Yeah. To me, that doesn't sound interesting. As someone who's played the LVC and had goose shit literally everywhere, I actually had one pile of goose shit save me from going,
Going
OB.
OB, I remember you telling me that.
And it was literally, the disc was 75% over the OB line, but stuck in the goose shit. They literally stopped it from going OB. So it's everywhere. You've seen it. You've seen the course. There's goose shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It's small. Now imagine that with cows.
With cows. Yeah, that would.
To
that
me,
doesn't sound
not
fun.
so appealing. The smell, not so appealing.
Yeah.
But some people love it, and I want to get their opinion.
Yeah.
And
for
they're
sure.
amateurs. That's key.
They are amateurs.
Amateur hour for a reason. We will get lucky. We will talk to some pros, and we'll get their opinion on some things. But this is amateur hour for a reason. We're amateurs. We want to talk to the amateurs. We want to bring the amateurs along for a ride, and we want to grow with you guys.
Yeah.
So stick around. Come back. I'll say stick around. So come back next week. See what we have in store. We're still making changes. We're still learning, reading comments.
Yeah, we'll be checking the comments from the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
See what we need to change.
And we're going to, like I just said, we're going to grow with you. So we hope you grow with us, make these changes, see what we have to do. Try not to be so combative because Marcus is wrong. It's not a righty course.
Oh, we talked about my opinions on our local course. We got to cut all that.
No, this is staying. This
might be
is
2 episodes.
This is gold. This is gold.
Might be 2 episodes.
Marcus prides himself on course design.
All right, we got to end this at some point.
He prides himself on course design.
I think I'm a great course designer.
He's wrong. It's not righty. Okay, we'll see you next week.